there is a kind of danger that doesn't announce itself. It doesn't show up with hostility on its face or cruelty in its voice. It comes wearing warmth. It comes with a smile, with helpfulness, with words that sound like exactly what you needed to hear. And by the time you realize something is wrong, it's already gotten close enough to do damage. Islam speaks directly to this reality. The Prophet ﷺ didn't just warn us about open enemies. He warned us about those who sit at our table, who share our company, who walk beside us daily while carrying intentions we can't immediately see, because evil in real life is rarely obvious. It's subtle, it's patient, and it knows how to look like something else. The Quran tells us clearly, and among the people is he whose speech pleases you in worldly life, and he calls Allah to witness as to what is in his heart. Yet he is the fiercest of opponents. Surah Al-Baqarah 2 to 204. Sweet speech, dangerous heart. That's the profile we need to recognize. Today we're going to look at 10 signs, real and specific signs that Islam identifies that may indicate there is an evil person in your life. Not to make you paranoid, not to make you suspicious of everyone, but to give you the clarity that protects you, because protection begins with awareness, and awareness begins with knowing what to look for. Pay close attention. What you learn here could spare you months or years of unnecessary harm. Sign 1. They take pleasure in other people's pain. This is perhaps the clearest mark of a corrupted heart, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. When someone in your life receives difficult news, what does this person do? Do they express genuine sorrow? Do they offer help? Or do you notice something else? Something small but unmistakable, a slight lift in their energy, a barely suppressed satisfaction. Evil individuals find nourishment in the suffering of others. It might express itself overtly through mockery or unkind comments when someone fails. Or it might be subtle through the way their eyes light up when bad news is shared, through the speed with which they forward bad news to others, through the slight delay before their sympathy arrives, as if they had to locate it and drag it forward rather than feel it naturally. The Prophet ﷺ gave us a standard that makes this sign easy to measure. None of you truly believes until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. Sahih al-Bukhari 13, Sahih Muslim 45. Think about what that means practically. A true believer wants for others the same good they want for themselves. Success, ease, happiness, health. They rejoice at the good fortune of others because the brotherhood and sisterhood of faith makes others' joy feel like their own. An evil person experiences the exact inversion. They feel diminished by others' success and relieved by others' failure. This isn't merely a character flaw, it's a sign of serious spiritual disease. Watch carefully how someone speaks about people who are doing well. Watch how they respond when someone who was struggling turns their situation around. Watch what they say and how they say it when news of someone's misfortune arrives. The heart is almost always visible in those unguarded moments before the performance catches up. If someone in your life consistently seems energized by the difficulties of others rather than moved to compassion by them, that is not a small thing. That is a window into what they carry. Sign 2, they change faces depending on who is watching. There is a person you know perhaps who is charming and gracious in certain company and reveals themselves to be something entirely different when that company changes. They are generous with their boss and contemptuous toward people they consider beneath them. They speak well of you to your face and differently about you when you're not there. Their personality doesn't have a center, it has audiences. This is what the Prophet ﷺ identified as one of the most dangerous personality types. The worst of all people is the double-faced one who comes to some people with one face and to others with another. Sahih al-Bukhari 6058. The person who has two faces has no face. They don't have a true self that they carry into every room. They have a strategy, a social performance calibrated for maximum benefit in each setting. And because their behavior is always calculated rather than sincere, you can never know which version is real. You can never know what they say about you when the audience shifts. This is more than a social annoyance. It creates a specific kind of harm to those close to such a person. You lose the ability to know where you stand. You lose the foundation of clear, reliable trust that healthy relationships require. You're always slightly off balance, always catching inconsistencies, always wondering which version of this person is the one you're actually dealing with today. The sign to watch for: their behavior changes dramatically depending on who else is present. They treat certain people differently when those people have status or resources. They say things to you about others that you suspect they say about you to others. Their warmth runs directly proportional to their perceived benefit. A sincere person behaves with fundamental consistency regardless of who is watching, because they are not performing for an audience. They are simply being who they are. That consistency is rare, and it's one of the markers that distinguishes genuine character from strategic performance. Sign 3. Their kindness has conditions you aren't told about. Conditional kindness is among the most deceptive qualities an evil person can possess, because from the outside it looks like generosity. They do favors, they help, they show up and offer and give, but there's something underneath all of it that you sense before you can fully name. Their generosity is never quite free. It's always followed eventually by something, an expectation of loyalty, a future ask, a withdrawal of warmth the moment you decline to serve their interests. Their kindness was never about you. It was about what you could eventually provide. Allah addressed this exact character in the Quran: and of the people is he whose speech pleases you in worldly life, and he calls Allah to witness as to what is in his heart. Yet he is the fiercest of opponents. Surah Al-Baqarah 2-204. The voice is smooth, the heart is hostile. The problem is the gap between what is displayed and what is true. The specific test for this quality is time and the removal of benefit. When you are useful to such a person, they are warm, present, and attentive. When circumstances change and you can no longer serve their purposes, when you set a limit they didn't expect or decline something they wanted, watch what happens. The performance ends. The mask shifts. The warmth evaporates with a speed that reveals it was never rooted in anything real. True kindness, the kind Islam asks believers to practice, is not an investment made in anticipation of return. It is given for the sake of Allah, which means it doesn't depend on the recipient's continued usefulness. It extends to the person who cannot reciprocate. It persists through inconvenience. It doesn't come with unspoken bills attached. If you notice someone's kindness toward you shifts in direct correlation to your usefulness to them, treat that as important information about who you are dealing with. Sign 4. They have no real empathy for human suffering. Empathy is not a weakness. In Islam, it's one of the signs of a healthy spiritual heart. The Prophet ﷺ described the believers as, in their affection, mercy and compassion for each other, they are like a single body. When one part of it hurts, the rest responds with sleeplessness and fever. Sahih al-Bukhari 6011, Sahih Muslim 2586. That's a vivid description. One part hurts, the whole body responds. An evil person doesn't respond this way. When someone around them is struggling, they don't feel it. They are not stirred toward care or action. Instead, they observe the suffering with a kind of flat indifference that, if you're watching closely, occasionally shades into something worse, a quiet satisfaction, an opportunity spotted. This absence of empathy is deeply significant because empathy is one of the mechanisms that keeps human behavior within ethical limits. A person who feels the impact of their actions on others has a natural internal check. A person who feels nothing when others suffer has no such check. They can cause harm without experiencing the internal resistance that normally accompanies it. They can hurt you and move on without the weight that should follow. The danger here is that such people are often skilled at performing empathy. They know the words, they know the appropriate expressions, they understand intellectually what a caring response looks like. So they produce one when it benefits them to do so. But performed empathy and felt empathy behave differently under pressure. When empathy is real, it shows up without calculation. When it's performed, it requires an audience and a reason. Watch what happens when someone is suffering and there's no social reward for appearing to care. Watch what happens when your pain is inconvenient for them. That's when the performance falters and the absence reveals itself. He who does not show mercy to people, Allah will not show him mercy. The Prophet ﷺ made this unambiguous. Mercy is not optional for the believer. Its consistent absence is a warning sign you should not dismiss. Sign 5. They need to control everyone around them. The evil person is not content to manage their own life. They are compelled in a way that feels almost involuntary to extend their influence over the choices, behaviors, and freedoms of the people around them. This can manifest as domination through fear, overt aggression, and intimidation that makes those around them walk carefully, measuring every word and action for potential offense. Or it can be more insidious, a slow, patient erosion of your confidence and independence that leaves you eventually dependent on their judgment in ways you didn't agree to and didn't notice happening. The Prophet ﷺ warned explicitly, beware of oppression, for oppression will be darkness on the day of resurrection.